Today we're talking FPV for beginners. That, but you're a beginner, right?
Yeah, very beginner.
It's very scary looking.
I'm feeling dizzy, Matti. Why did you bring me here?
I'm gonna need you to stand on the edge there.
No way. I need a danger reward for that. Some sort of bonus acting
Danger
fee.
pay. The first question you gotta ask yourself when you're thinking about FPV is, why get into it? And instead of explaining to you, I'll try to show you guys a little. That was about 3 minutes of flying and this battery's done.
What? 3 minutes?
3 minutes of flight.
Show them how many you have.
All of these will probably last us like maybe 20 minutes total.
Crazy.
Take 2. Battery number 2. So far so good. I used to think like these come with like 2 straps. I'm like, you don't need 2 straps. That's like whatever, that's overkill. Until I crashed it and the battery just flew like 100 meters away from the drone. I'm like, I should put these a little tighter next time.
Right in the bushes. That was perfect. That was like a soft landing.
Soft landing into the bushes.
You're a very controlled pilot.
Not bad.
I see that. That was good.
All is well.
All is well. A little bit of hay, but all good.
2 done. That's a total of 5-6 minutes of flying.
Switching over to the DJI.
Now let's give the DJI FPV a go.
Got a variety today.
We got all the drones today. We're going through them all, comparing, contrasting. It's gonna be a good day. If I could have had these toys when I was a kid, imagine.
It'd be heaven.
I loved remote controlled cars. Now I got freaking remote controlled helicopter, airplane, whatever these are.
I'm modeling right now on the edge of the cliff, and there's FPV drones just flying around. Landing. Oh, hey, come on.
Calm down, son. So, judging by that footage, you should now know why to get into FPV. FPV drones are so much different from your like typical DJI drones. There's nothing wrong with those drones. It's just a very different thing. Plus, this is the most fun I ever have in any sort of filmmaking sense. It is just so fun. Even if I wasn't filming anything, I would just come out here and just fly because it literally starts to feel like you're flying as the drone. You get to see what the drone is doing in the perspective of the drone, and yeah, and that's also a difference. You're going FPV, first person view. That's where it comes from.
Feel like a bird flying.
Yeah, literally. It's the closest thing I've gotten to flying. First off, I just want to say I have a lot of FPV drones, tons of them, and I have not built a single one. I think it's the dumbest thing ever to tell people that they need to learn how to build one of these if you want to get into FPV, which is what a lot of the traditional FPV guys say. But like using that logic, it's like, oh, I really want a smartphone. Well, guess I'm gonna have to order the parts and build my smartphone. Like, that doesn't make sense. Or in a car, like I'm gonna have to learn how to build a car. No, I'm not gonna spend my time learning how to build something. I'm not an engineer. That's not what I'm good at. I'm good at making videos. That's where I make my money. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna pay somebody else who's an expert to build FPV drones like this. These two are from Rotor Riot. That was like my first place to get them. They make amazing pre-built drones. They're ready to go right out of the box. All you gotta do is put on the propellers and just fly away. You don't have to have all the nightmare headaches of trying to figure out someone to build these.
Soldering? Oh gosh,
soldering,
no way.
Putting parts together. I know nothing about that stuff. You do not need to learn how to build FPV drones. But you do need to figure out which drone to get, and actually up until recently there weren't really that many options. There was basically just classic FPV drones, which are these like bare bones racing drones with a GoPro on it. And now we have this DJI FPV option. And if I had to go back and start where I actually had the choice between the two, it'd be really tough. The DJI is incredible. It's so easy and just like familiar. The batteries, everything, it just makes sense. It's really easy to start going, and the battery life is crazy. But you do have to sacrifice some quality with the camera. It's not quite wide enough, and the quality just isn't that good. You could have better. I feel like you need a little bit wider, so when you're just like whizzing by stuff, you get this nice epic like super fast movement. And the other thing is, this is a very fancy looking drone. It's got nice plastic sensors, all that. You crash this hard, it's gone. Like, you're gonna bust this thing up real bad, and you're basically gonna have to buy a new complete drone. Whereas these classic ones, I don't know if you're hearing the cops. Whereas these classic ones, you basically just have to replace the propellers. These are really, really durable. And the fact of the matter is, you will crash. You will crash a lot, but when you start flying these FPV drones,
I don't want to crash.
You will crash. There's no ifs, buts about that. So it's hard to say what I would go for. I'd probably either go for the DJI for the convenience, or I would go with a 3-inch drone like this, which isn't quite as aggressive, and it's got these propeller ducts, so you know you can kind of fly at stuff and it's not gonna just like destroy the propellers.
Like a bumper car.
Yeah, it's for safety. It's just a lot more manageable to fly a little guy like this. Now, it doesn't fly quite as well as the bigger drones, but I think if I had to recommend a first drone, I think it would be a 3-inch with ducts, especially for Teppo. I don't want you crashing into anything.
I want
hurting
bumpers.
anybody.
Bumpers are for me.
Speaking of crashes, I've crashed this a few times. Still good though, still flies, all is well.
Got a lot of baggage there,
eh? Sucker! Once you have your drone chosen, then you're not gonna fly right away. First, you gotta hit the simulator. Hit the simulator to learn how to fly, because the controls on an FPV drone are very different. So you wanna get used to that first before you just crash the drone right away, because you will crash. And then once you've done some simulator time, I personally didn't do that much. I did like a couple hours. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Then I went to go to a big open field with nothing there, because you don't want to crash it as much as possible, and take it nice and slow and steady. Just learn, feel for it, learn how it flies. Don't try any acrobatics or flips. We know it can do that, but just take your time, learn how to get really good at controlling the drones first. I feel bad for you having to walk.
I'm walking behind, but he's got all the gear, and I'd rather not carry all that gear.
Once you start getting used to like how the FPV drone flies, then you just want to get really controlled at it, like really precise, flying close to the ground, flying through, you know, little holes in the trees or bushes. The reason why you need to get really controlled is that's the only way you're gonna get cinematic footage. If you're just like going crazy all the time and it's not smooth and controlled, then the footage is gonna look terrible, because there's no gimbals to smooth this out for you or anything like that. You have to fly it smoothly. So the name of the game is control and flying smooth.
How do you like our filming setup? Lodged between this log right here in the shelter, and I was holding my jacket out for the good sound, and he's just having a good time filming. Now he's focused.
I'm in full focus mode now.
Can't talk anymore.
No talking. What's that?
All in all, a good day at the beach. What a day at work. We're just hanging out at the beach here in Canada.
This is like a California beach day, right?
Well, in Canadian terms, yeah. Most beautiful beaches we got here. It's actually not an ocean for all the American folk. This is a lake.
not an attempted landing, that was just a crash landing. The world of FPV, that's what this is. I crashed it in the sand, crash landing, you guys saw that. It's really hard, there's nowhere to land here. We didn't really think this through. I was trying to land it on the, I wasn't even close, I was like right there.
It's a little bit different.
Let's hope it still flies. Part of FPV, ups and downs of FPV.
The motors sounded not so good. There was like...
let's... Crashed it again into the sand. It happens, but like I said, still good. These things just last forever. So if you need a pre-built drone, Rotor Riot's got you covered. This isn't sponsored. They've been helping me out with all the FPV stuff, and I very, very much appreciate it because I'm a total noob.
Built to last, built to last.
Built to last.
Flying with the FPV drone while I'm one-wheeling, and I'm being pushed out of my comfort zone right now, but gotta do what you gotta do for the shot.
Seppo's getting better at the whole one-wheel thing. Also, check out the zoom on this thing. I'm zooming. Digital zoom. Woo! Classic, he almost crashes. Another great day of FPV. The drones are still alive, haven't crashed it. I actually haven't crashed the DJI one in a bad way at all yet, which has been nice. The other one just got a little bit of sand, but it's still working great. I gotta say, there are some negatives to FPV. There are a lot of highs and lows. You'll get your drone, you'll crash it, you'll cry, then you'll get a new one and you'll be loving it. It's ups and downs.
Oh, it's a good day at the office.
Doing a workout here.
This is work day. I think I'm getting my groove on this one wheel. Getting some speed.
You're getting better. But don't get discouraged. Everybody goes through that stuff. It is definitely hard to get into. There's a lot of things you got to learn about the LiPo batteries and the way they fly and all of this stuff, but in the end, it's worth it. Take it slow and steady, and you do not need to be doing crazy acrobatics. In fact, I think people do way too many flips and stuff with FPV drones, and that actually doesn't even look that good if you're trying to get like cinematic stuff. It's much better to just fly really controlled, low to the ground, through holes, just getting these interesting, super fast, dynamic shots that only an FPV can do, really. Are you gonna get into FPV drone, Seppo?
The moment I get the simulator and I, earn my rite of passage to fly your FPV, we're going.
You gotta get into it.
It's worth it. We gotta do it. Sensei, show me your speeds.
Gotta go for a ride. Oh, the wind! The wind is taking me.
I'm running! I'm running with him!
At the end of the day, you really can't go wrong as long as you choose an FPV drone and you start learning. You're gonna love it. It's so much fun. Even if you don't get a single cool video clip, you'll have the time of your life. It's like my favorite hobby nowadays. And one wheel. One wheels are just, they never get old. They're so good. 1 hour later. Should we get some McDonald's? You remember coupons, McDonald's coupons?
They're a great thing.
This is a new hack. You get the app. This is not, by the way, sponsored by McDonald's. Go to offers. Look at these offers. Free fries. A $1 Big Mac. Do you want a $1 Big Mac?
Oh, heck yeah!
$1 Big Mac. Or you can get a McFlurry, regular size, $1.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard about that yet. That's dangerous. First Red Bulls, now McDonald's coupons. Oh, he's here. That's fast. Nope, wrong car. Rejected. Do you guys remember that movie Super Size Me? Well, when we watched that documentary, what did we do?
We went to McDonald's after. I think that was probably like the best advertising for McDonald's ever.
We had some Big Mac meals. It just tasted so juicy.
We got our stuff. I paid $3. How much did you pay for your stuff?
$2 for a cheeseburger and a drink. So
Not bad, not bad. 2 cheeseburgers, McFlurry, drink for a couple bucks. But what's it been like working for me?
wonderful. No pressure.
That was living the easy life. I just tell him, come film this with me. Let's go do this thing. Let's go do that thing.
Today's one wheel day
He literally just one-wheeled on the beach.
and got paid.
And then we at McDonald's.